ghost changes, some hidden changes that nerfed him, as well as the null tally nerfs, and those were removed. So is this still a hero? Can you play this?
Can I play
not
this?
You
Probably
in particular.
Not. Can
not
anyone
you
play this? Absolutely. I think this hero is actually a little bit underrated right now, so I was happy to see Boom grab it. Before we get started, Jenkins, I do want to say to the audience, though,
okay.
welcome.
That was a long pause.
Welcome to the cast that you didn't know you didn't want. That is what this is going to be.
There's too many negations in there. I'll not be figuring that out. I'm just going to assume that's a compliment.
Actually, that's something for me to get adjusted to. Now I'm casting with someone who has a little bit more mental capacity than Sunstan, so maybe we can make the jokes a little bit more advanced and actually still figure it out. But you disappointed me on that one. That's cool.
I'll take backhanded compliments. That's any compliments.
The only ones you get lately.
Any compliments are good. As compliments of Alliance, they do have WEU on that mid lane Coddle.
Yep.
Which I agree.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, I agree with the 1/3 of the panel that against Storm, I feel like it's got to do pretty well in the laning phase. You get maybe an early Orchid, and you can pop off if you're WEU in this game.
At the same time, though, you're playing mid Coddle into Storm, right? It's one of the
backline jumper.
One of the strongest counters that are there, which made me think that WEU was going to take up a different hero than the Coddle here. But Alliance do think it's still worth the overall gain in the game, and I could see that. I think Lycan can also be a little bit of an issue for Coddle. Even though you are a fast hero, it's one of the heroes that can overwhelm you with speed, just run you down in fights. So I don't think this is an easy Coddle mid-game by any means, but it would be even worse on support, I guess. Support Coddle will be awful this game, so maybe that's kind of a glass half full way of thinking about it.
Sure. Speaking of full, on the top lane, got a full tri-lane up here from Gaimin Gladiators looking to punish this Timber early, but man, Alliance, like, they're sniffing it out. This is really good for them. They're going to cut the second wave. Nobody's stopping this. I feel like this is really good for Alliance. I mean, this is a big investment from Gaimin Gladiators, and he's just getting the wave.
Celery's bringing over the other wave, though, so he knew this was coming.
Yeah.
So Aramis and Celery are actually going to be fighting here on the stairs, and Symmetrical is AFK. Doesn't really... yeah, I mean, what can you do here as Timber? You can walk over to this camp that is now being, or this wave that's now being farmed by Clock versus Ench, but then you have no presence for the next one. He's going to try to actually pull the hard camp here. Will be not successful at all.
No. Oh, man.
It's actually very mistimed.
And he has Whirling Death, too, so he doesn't feel safe to walk up because no Timber Chain, I mean, no passive armor, but... You know, obviously at level 1, you'd probably rather the Timber Chain. Like, he's really looking at pressure in this lane against the CK with the Whirling Death, but if you're getting tri-laned, I mean, this is some pathetic fighting for last hits here. This is not what you want as a Timbersaw.
All right, let me run an idea by you. If you're a 2v3 like this, what if the offlaner pulled the wave instead of the support?
I mean...
Either you get the pull and you get it between the two towers top and you get that wave for your offlaner,
and you get level 2,
or it gets intercepted like it did here, and then you still get the experience on your offlaner.
Yeah.
If you see it's happening and you can pull that off, I think that would have been a better choice for Alliance, because in this lane you want levels on Timber. He is in Struggle City already. We're 2 minutes in. He's got experience for 1 creep. He's going to get a little bit more now, but Timber really is momentum based, and CK Ench can kill this hero in lane.
Right, so. which is exactly what Gaimin is up there tri-laning. It's basically just stop the momentum of that Timbersaw, and I feel like CK, if you can have like a 1 level advantage, maybe like, you know, a Bracer on a Timber, it is, the minus armor plus like an edge slow is actually enough to kill him. But that's exactly why I agree with your point about the wave cutting, is that like with Timber, all you want to get is like level 2, level 3, and you can be left alone against like almost anything unless it's like a Viper or something like that, you know?
At the same time, I wonder if he starts making the move, like, maybe it's hard to pull it off, because if Clockwork is the one showing in lane, maybe the supports on the enemy team play it differently, and they kind of sniff it out and they catch you before you do the pull.
True, yeah,
or
that's
kill
a good
you
point.
out there, so maybe you have to do it with the support, but you'd definitely rather have it the other way. Oh, Symmetrical's actually in giga trouble here. He is dead. First blood for Chaos Knight. So, as prophesized, Symmetrical not tanky enough on level 2. He did get the point in reactive armor, but obviously without the Timber Chain had no way of creating distance, and CK and Ench just kept hitting him until he died. So, very easy kill for Gaimin Gladiators.
Both lanes, you got these like weird lane shenanigans happening, because on bot lane, you know, we saw Tofu was trying to connect a wave to Ace there, because Ace has been left alone down here due to this tri-lane that they've been doing, so both lanes are just Just these very weird interactions. And then on top, like you're mentioning, Symmetrical he's a 1-0-1 build, which is not very common, but it's like basically trying to make up for the fact that he's lacking these levels, and that he went for the Whirling Death first.
I wonder when he skilled the Whirl. I feel like he
had this right at the start, dude. Like, as soon as the lane ended, when he started, when he was in the trees, he had Whirling Death. It's like he pre-skilled it.
Yeah, okay. Because it's like, there's certain heroes where it's like a no-brainer what you do level 1. Like, where you want to skill the same basically every game. With like very small exceptions. Like Clockwork, when do you not skill Battery Assault level 1? Like,
I've actually seen Cogs
There's some edge cases where you can do Cogs if you want to double block the offlane, for example. Like, Cog in the wave twice. But, you know, as an example, he almost always skills the same. I feel like with Timber, it actually varies a lot.
It does.
On Timber, sometimes you skill Chain level 1 if you play against a lane that you need to escape. You skill Armor level 1 if you have a lane where you can get a lot of value out of that. And sometimes you can play aggressive, you get the Whirl. So I feel like him skilling Whirl this early is kind of like worst case scenario. I think that was the worst skill he could have by far. That was
definitely like a blunder. I mean, he's thinking about it in the game. Like, you know, that's like, God damn it. If I had Shane, it's just one of those things. Like, it happens in a game, and you don't do it for like the next 20 games. You know, you never pre-skill for the next 20 games. Like, it's really unfortunate when it does happen. And also the fact that Gaimin Gladiators did the tri lane to start. Yeah, 8-1. Not exactly. I mean, Cellar almost has more CS than Timbersaw.
Speaking of CS, I think this is the most I've seen Caudle lose mid in quite a while.
Wow.
Boom is actually destroying Weeha. He's 50-10 on Storm, so 10 denies against Caudle mid. And usually Caudle, yeah, you can get some denies against him, but he will generally beat you on CS because he'll just push the wave and farm small camp. But Boom has also been stealing Weeha's small camp a decent amount, and Wee is now going to try to catch up through this double stack in both of these camps, which will be very good for him. But Tofu is nearby and leeching a lot of the experience. And now Boom might even come over for the kill. This would be huge for them.
Yeah, they see the creeps. They see where the creeps are going, so they know he's over there. Stormin', he's there. He's there on the DP. Aramis is there as well, but with these supports, very difficult to catch a Storm Spirit. There's just no disable for Storm right now. Level 1 silence on DP, that's it.
Does somewhat equalize the CS, though. Weeha got a lot of those stacks, so he is now effectively more or less caught up, but again, worth keeping in mind that this matchup for Caudle is rough. So if Storm is having a good time, that generally means you have to itemize differently on Caudle than you want to. You can't necessarily go Travels and Vessel plus another offensive item. You're going to have to get a BKB, or he is just going to eat your life.
Yeah, maybe even like Orchid BKB. Let's see what we have queued up.
Orchid wouldn't be a bad idea either.
He's going for the Boots of Travel first, nothing else queued up.
Durasho's level 6 against level 3 too.
That is... this is one of the most one-sided lanes I've seen in a very long time. And I think Timber's one of the worst heroes to be in this situation.
Yes. Everything you're used to about Timber, his timings, what he calls... Oh, is this?
Oh, they have the Center Stomp.
Yeah, clock is covering, though. So, you would think, theoretically speaking, that Timber wouldn't actually suffer that much from this, because it's like, well, at least he's a tanky hero that can sit there. But the problem is, even if you can, a huge part of the payoff of this hero comes in the first 15 minutes, and that timing is just screwed.
That's another stomp. He's not even there, and he's still contributing to the lane. No crit, yeah.
If he got a crit on that swing there, Durasho, that would have been a kill, but...
Still so much pressure, though.
Yeah. Now Aramis is in trouble.
Oh, he's in the cogs. If he gets a crit, this might be a kill. Okay, he did get the crit. It was actually a low crit, but still enough to snag the kill as Vanguard gets picked up on Nico Baby PL.
Invisibility.
It feels like he has to get... I mean, there is a lot of merit to the item in this game, right? You're playing against CK Illusions, you're playing against Lycan Wolves. Okay, this is a very, very dead DP. Going to be grabbed up easily here by Boom. Finally pulls out the Vortex. Okay, it's taking them quite a while, actually. Caudle is arriving. The heal. He will live. Boom's out of mana. Is there any rotation coming in? He will still get the kill. Aramis can't catch up. He's going to get flung away, gets disposed of, and that is enough for Boom to get out. So that looked a little hairy, but...
Oh boy, and as that's happening, Lycan picks up the Fairy's Trinket. That is a... that's like more of a dream item now than it was in the previous patch.
So he immediately gives it away to Storm.
Yes, naturally. It is the only source of mana cost reduction in the game, unless I'm like crazy and there's one that I'm not thinking of. I'm pretty sure...
It's the only neutral item, right?
It's the only neutral item, and I'm pretty sure that's the only mana cost reduction. Unless there's like...
Item in the entire game now?
There's that CM talent, but I think that got removed too as Timbersaw gets gone on. Once again, lots of stuns going out. Bot lane. They're trying to make a move onto Ace, but he's got a lot of units walking around. Yeah, he's not exactly afraid of a Vanguard PL.
Yeah, that's the other thing here. When you do go Vanguard PL, I understand the defensive perspective here against Lycan, CK, and Ench, but the problem is you are now effectively sandbagging even harder in the game, right? Like, you need so much time to catch up to Gaimin Gladiators that can play fast. You need to play super defensive. The other problem is, okay, let's say Timber had a great game. He does not. He's actually getting killed right now by Boom. Top, he's going to zip in, grab an easy one there, and start pressure on this tower. So let's imagine the Timbersaw had a good game. Then he can make space for this greedy PL build. But the only core on Alliance's side that's having any good of a time is the guy getting the kill here, Weehaw. We'll grab that with the final Illuminate coming in. So I gotta be honest with you, I'm worried for Alliance already. I feel like there's not a lot of steam here to bring in the next 15-20 minutes, and look what you're up against. You're up against a semi-Zoo strat, one of Gaimin Gladiators' best. A big part of the reason they got 4th at the major, this Ench-Lycan combination. They've played it a lot. They're very formidable on it.
Storm to
their lanes went amazing.
Storm to jump the back lines versus very little disable.
Ace gonna ult. Oh, he's in the cogs. He might actually just kill Aramis.
I think there's a kill here.
Yep.
And there's a freebie.
And they have nothing to stop him with. So
yeah, he's just running around.
Alliance with no stuns aside from Hookshot, which isn't online yet.
Oh boy.
It's such a free Lycan game when you look at it.
It is. It is. I wasn't. I mean, other than the Timber was been completely shut down, who I guess, you know, against the summons and against the strength factor of Lycan, Timber's decent, right? But in terms of disables, it is actually just Hookshot. It is Hookshot and Cog Knockback. That is rough, and Wii is going for a Spirit Vessel. There's no Orchid. There's not going to be any more disable coming out unless there's something that I'm not seeing.
I'm with you on the Orchid. I think it's just a better choice than Vessel. I know you want to get Vessel and Cod a lot of the time. It's like super efficient damage together with Solar Bind, and it allows you to solo kill. But the problem is the heroes that you would usually solo kill with this don't exist in this game. No. I don't think you're killing CK, Lycan, or Storm with these items. You need an Orchid to kill the Storm. You also need it for protection, to be honest. Like, it's kind of going to help you against some of the potential plays that Gaimin Gladiators have. And as we've already seen in this game, you're probably going to be fending for yourself for quite a while on the Coddle here, because your team is not looking hot at all. So tough times. Symmetrical finally grabs his level 6 just recently. We're 10 minutes in. This is a core grabbing level 6. This is when you usually see it on supports, which is actually the case for Aramis here. Is 6 on clock.
Yeah.
So
problem with Timber is, like, in my eyes, he's like a very threshold-based hero where, like, you have one item up on the enemy team and they just virtually cannot kill you because you have that, like, one small item advantage. It's like literally just a bracer is if you have that in terms of advantage. And so when you shut down a Timbersaw like this, you lose that factor of the hero running around the map that's totally unkillable. He's very killable, right? So he's just kind of a damage, like, he's a normal offlaner now, not a Timbersaw.
Thrush are going to poke him a little bit here. Doesn't manage to accomplish anything except getting a little bit of a response for Aramis, so we'll get the information there that Clockwork is sitting top, and that, in turn, that means that Alliance aren't making any moves. Like, if the clock is showing what could possibly be going on the map, it's probably Weehaw getting jumped in the jungle in a second here. Celery Smoke will break.
Oh, the smoke breaks.
He is in vision for Storm here, I think.
Is he?
If we can see the fog.
Can you toggle the vision during a pause? I'm not sure if you can.
I think Storm has line of sight there, right? So
yeah, for sure. They see him. He's got an Arcane Rune on Storm, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I just popped the Arcane. The Arcane is already running, so this is a free jump, man. I mean,
Jenkins, you know what I love? It's trivia time.
Okay.
How long is Weehaw going to survive for?
I'm going to say 1.5 seconds.
1.5. Okay, I'm going to go with 3. 1,
what the?
2. Okay, I'm closer.
You're definitely closer.
It took him a while.
Okay,
he's still not
he's
dead.
Actually alive.
Now he's dead.
Now he's dead. I did not I think over-anticipated on Boom how fast Wii was. He goes way in front.
Yeah.
But I mean, stomped him in this lane, so... not that Wii is particularly far behind, but lots of pauses coming out here.
Pause from Symmetrical. He dropped his farm. He's trying to find it.
Yeah. Drop him with those packets. Dropping packets of gold, more like, to the enemies.
That's an interesting perspective on packet loss.
Yeah,
it is actually gold packets.
It is, in this case. 3.5k net worth to the carry 6k. He's getting doubled in net worth.
And the offlane Lycan, okay, so we haven't really talked about that trade-off too much, right? Like, when you have a 3v1, obviously you're getting a 2v1 somewhere else,
yes, right?
And that bottom lane Ace was not shut down at all by the PL plus DP. He was level 3.5 when Timber was level 2. He's now sitting on 80 CS. He has the same net worth as the enemy mid after playing 1v2.
I would wager that there's probably some Lycan Wolf cutting, creep wave cutting action that happened down there. We were focused a lot on the tri-lane because that's where the action was. But I would say that probably he did some cutting action. But even if there wasn't cutting action, Lycan is still strong. Yeah,
DPL is just not a good lane.
It's not a good lane.
Stomanen, well, they're trying to brute force this tower. He's going to get grabbed, though. No problem. We'll get it, at least. So, got what he came for there with the exorcism, but...
5k gold, man, at 13 minutes.
Alliance might try something here. Clock is in the neighborhood. You see him below the screen right now. Could go for a hook shot on Ace. But the wolves are actually blocking the angle that he would come in from and isn't going to go for it.
Yeah, very nice. So, Gaimin Gladiators.
The last time you saw Vanguard on PL as the first item? I cannot remember seeing this in a very long time. It used to be pretty common.
It did.
Nico Baby obviously has that experience of playing back when that was a bigger thing, which might have inspired him to do it here. I just fundamentally don't think it's the approach you take in a game like this.
To me, my argument against it in this case is that I feel when you're behind, you're losing lanes like this, you need something aggressive to get back in the game, right? You need a timing that you can play on, and I don't think Vanguard is a timing. It just keeps you alive so you can farm more. But a diffusal blade is an actual timing you can get kills on.
Looking at it on the flip side as well, right? If you're not going to fight, then why do you have a Vanguard? Right.
That's also
then you could have bought a farming item instead.
So you can farm aggressively.
Then you could have gone Yasha diffusal, right? That's what greedy PLs will do for farm efficiency. Aramis here will potentially get saved. I think Boom isn't really willing to commit on this, maybe. All right, scratch that. They're going to grab and fling in Weehaw there with a dispose. No problem. Might be a little bit of a turnaround, though, as Tofu is very low and vesseled up. He should be okay, I think. Yeah, he is. He will salve up. And now Boom could go for round 2. He's going to try for a grab onto Symmetrical, but quick chain away will stabilize. That's a very early blink, might I add. 14 minutes on Tofu.
Jeez. 9 minutes faster? Okay, that's insane. Yeah, I feel like Marcy's really enjoy getting the blink dagger. It makes the hero... It, like, doubles the strength of the hero. And this is already a very powerful hero. To the degree people are just straight up rushing the blink now. But 9 minutes faster, I mean, that is wild. Like, he's having a stellar game.
So obviously what throws off that average a little bit is that a lot of the times you will see Marcy's go lens and then dagger, which will obviously pull the average time up. But even factoring that in, if you look at first item purchase dagger, it's still... 14 minutes is very early on Marcy. This hero farms like absolute trash. He has only got 3 assists in this game, so it's not because he's got a lot of kill gold. But they have given Tofu unusual amounts of space. He has 33 CS minute 15. We've seen other teams such as, I believe it was in NA, we saw Quincy Crew play, I think, 2 games of Marcy, or at least one of them on MSS, and Fata was playing Snap, and he just had insane farm on Snap. And the Marcy had like 10 CS minute 15.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
This time around, they are giving a little bit more priority over to the Marcy to get this key item. I reckon from here on out, Tofu's barely going to be touching waves. There's a lot of power on this hero with not showing ever.
Yeah.
Because the whole map just becomes a minefield, especially for a lineup like Alliances that doesn't have a lot of counterplay or a lot of catch themselves. You feel very free making these moves a lot of the time as Marcy and getting out afterwards.
You do. I like that people are valuing the blink dagger higher. That's a pretty nice deny. Denying a regen room from Storm feels very bad for Storm. But I like that people are prioritizing the blink dagger. It's like people are prioritizing it to me, like how people view a blink dagger on Earthshaker, where it's this item where, like, yeah, you do stuff in the laning phase and you know try to run around and fissure and be semi-useful, but then there hits a point where it's like, okay, I need that blink. And I feel like on Marcy, it's so good that I would like to see people doing this more. Because once you get that, like you said, it's so scary to show anywhere. Because she just jumps in, and it's like, kill this guy. Like, you click one guy, and it's just the most obvious focus target ever. As they go for a smoke with this timing, and the Sanj and Kaya on Storm.
Yeah, they are so strong. Storm and Marcy, either of these two, if they see anyone coming out of this smoke, they can just jump and kill. I don't think Alliance have much of a chance. They will.
I don't know if they want
this scan
DP,
will
though.
find DP. This is not what they're looking for, but they will grab it. And they knew it was DP. They scouted it with the Wolves already, so willingly.
It's in front of Roche. That's why they go for that kill. It's because
It's a natural transition.
Yeah, it's a natural transition. You can walk in a roach. If she buys back, you get out and you've not only gotten a kill, you force a buyback. So then it is actually worth going for a support there. But there's a clockwork.
Time for Aramis to be Superman here.
Yeah.
He did rocket pre though, so they do know where he is, and they're going to take advantage of that. Easy pick. And that's right. So Aramis currently working on a Crimson Guard on the clockwork. They're really like double, tripling down on these defensive items. Vanguard, PL, Crimson Clock. Still makes you wonder, when is the move coming from Alliance? Like, I think, so in my experience, most of the time, just generally in Dota, it's easier to play offense, right? Like, if you're in control, it's way easier to play the map. But it's also that when you itemize defensively like this, most of the time you're itemizing to stay in the game, not to win it. That's usually
how not to lose, yeah.
It's usually how it turns out, because you can't make your own... Like, you're essentially relying on the enemy team screwing up, right? Because if you don't have the aggressive potential as like, oh, they're out of position, we can actually grab a pick here, because even if that happens now, a huge chunk of your net worth just doesn't deal damage.
Yeah.
Clockwork does not have anything that gives him added utility, like maybe you could get a cool 4-step offensive player, you could go Axe for double damage, or whatever it is. Your entire lineup's just slowed to a crawl right now, and Gaimin Gladiators are very comfortable to just move from objective to objective now. They're going to grab this top tower, and Alliance just flat out can't defend.
Yeah, and
easy.
Gaimin Gladiator seems to know this. Strachio just used this CK ulti to just push out some waves, like he knows. Although, as I say that,
I don't mind
going to force them back.
I think this is good. You have Aegis, you have the Lycan, you have the whole zoo. Alliance's items are not fully ready yet. Nice Illuminate from WEU, though, will help. But it doesn't kill off. See, that's a good part about Lycan against Caudle as well. Like, we were talking about, okay, he can run at him in fights, but when it comes to the push, it's some of the only summons that Caudle actually doesn't one-shot with a limit, right?
Even the Wolves, because of the magic resist.
High magic resist, you have the Helm of the Overlord, which is super tanky, so Caudle himself can actually not stop this push, whereas against a lot of other summon-based heroes, he could just wipe them out with one Illuminate and a Blinding Light. That just doesn't cut it here, so... I mean, that means essentially he can't defend alone and needs backup.
Speaking of cutting, though, I do like what Stromanen is doing on... I can't ever get his name right. Can you say it?
Stolmanen.
Stolmanen
is very cooked.
Is dead. He's dead.
Yep. Well,
every time I mispronounce his name when I'm casting, he always dies.
It's like whenever you say what you like what people are doing, they die. So...
And that says a lot about my Dota skill.
It does.
As, almost got that Manta style on Nico Baby.
You're still better than Suns fan.
Thank you.
You will always have that.
That's a very high compliment. Of course, he is almost Herald at this point.
You know a lot about high compliments having played with Shaggy.
That's right. That's right. Compliments to the admins who are disallowing him to vape on stream, the greatest travesty in Dota 2 history. What items do we have on the side of Alliance that represents a potential turnaround here? BKB on WEU.
Manta is almost up for Nico.
Is Manta that huge? Is it a huge... I mean, how big of a DPS increase is this that you can all of a sudden take a fight when you get a Manta? I feel like this is another defensive item.
It's hybrid, right? But yeah, I mean, we've been... Oh, that is big trouble for Aramis. He went on a little scouting mission, and he will find death. So, a little bit of an exploration journey there ends in an absolute tragedy.
It's like a lot of space exploration. You know, 90% of astronauts are dead.
Oh.
As on the top lane, we can see that going down is...
Only 2 seconds done there.
Tofu?
Okay.
He's there.
No problem. Yeah, the reach of this hero when you have Dagger.
Does he have the... Oh, he almost has the Ether Lens on Marcy. He's got those mana boots he can disassemble. As Boom just cutting some waves. He feels pretty immortal right now. Does have that BKB. Zipping on a wave. Missed the silence. He's totally out of mana, though, so it looks like he is going to try to use this Aegis up.
Success.
Yeah, does have the BKB. I don't think he needs to pop it. They've got nothing. In fact, he goes back in onto Nico Baby, who's fairly tanky. Even to the magic damage of Boom. So just a bit of poking and prodding there, as T-Governor would say.
Yeah, his Aegis had about 40 seconds left, so I think he was just willing to expend it. He wasn't going to find much more value out of that. But yeah, here's the replay of the go onto Timber. I think if this stun is 3 seconds, especially 4, I think it's just a kill.
But then there's Marcy, so it was a kill anyway.
Yeah,
because of
but he
Marcy.
could have soloed him.
Yeah.
No problem.
Which would have been much cooler, which is what we're looking for here. That's what we're looking for. As Zip comes in, Boom is in, he gets silenced though. He just have that Arcane Rune, BKB also, he hasn't used it, choosing not to use it. Asymmetrical goes down to Duraccio. Very easily, Aramis hooks out. Hits a bunch of heroes with the hook. That's a big impetus coming out though. And Boom is now godlike. That's a double kill for him. Totally out of mana though, he's gotta be a little bit careful here. Wee's looking to go in, hits that blast. Long range, so it smashes him in the face, but still has that BKB of course. He's gonna TP back home.
I got a lot of value out of that Arcane Rune there, and the Storm, of course, makes that fight very, very, very easy for Boom. You know, one target to the next, with clock dying early. You're not really scared.
There's no stuns. Yeah, exactly. It's like,
so
what's gonna happen? You're gonna get silenced and press the BKB? Yeah. Yeah, this is, I mean, like, at this point, I'm looking at like a Weeha sheep timing or something like that as Nico Baby. He's poking at Celery, but...
Yeah, what do you get on PL now? Do you get Abyssal? Like, are you...
Yes.
Because again,
I think so.
How do you deal your damage? You've got... I mean, your net worth isn't all that bad. Given the game state and how tough this has been for Alliance's lineup and how they've itemized and played in general, I think Nico Baby's holding up pretty admirably here on a PL, but... It feels like largely he will have to make his own plays for them to be successful.
I feel like we've seen this one before. I feel like we've seen that one a few times now as Death Prophet on the high ground goes down.
Well, I guess she was covering the angle for Nico.
Yeah.
Aramis covered the second angle.
Yeah, lots of angles.
Well, the supports are dying instead of the core, which is something, but...
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those games. It's just there's a Hail Mary that needs to come out from Alliance at some point. The disadvantage, it's just too much. Like, I don't think you can just bank on, oh, we're going to go late game with the PL. Like, he's, you know, not hard countered this game, so we're going to win late game. It's like, well, you know, CK is the highest damage dealing carry in the entire game if you're not including Rapiers, right? So it's like, you're still going late game against a CK and a Storm who can chase the PL through his doppelgangers, and then a Lycan who's also a carry on the offlane. It's not exactly like, you know, PL's just going to carry this. And here it is. They're going to go for a Hail Mary smoke. They've got that BKB on Wii, looking to use it.
All the memers in Twitch chat are hoping this is an Alliance team wipe, so it's 2-23.
Oh, nice.
It's probably not going to be the case, though.
Hogs him back. BKB comes out. There's nothing to cancel that. No Basher.
Let's see if he quick buys Basher after that. He's building Heart. Yep, there we go. He actually switched it.
He switched it.
He had Heart on quick buy, and after that TPI, he switched it to Basher.
Dude, that's a classic right there. Actually, that's a classic.
And that's the problem. The only BKB canceling ability they have is the one they use to initiate.
Yeah.
So.
And they have nothing else to initiate. So.
Yep.
Yeah. This feels like one of those drafts. You go back. It's like, guys, this was like, these are good heroes separately. But we have no stuns when we pair all these heroes together. So we need to, like, yeah, we need to do something to at least like do something in terms of items to like negate that. Like we can see Wii now has queued up the sheep stick on Coddle.
When you run a lineup like what Alliance is doing here, your lanes have to go well.
Yeah.
I think if you lose lanes with a lineup like this in this version of Dota, your win rate is extremely low. This kind of playstyle in like more rubber bandy patches, or, you know, in times past when teams couldn't control the map as well or might not build as much advantage from a laning stage victory, this could fly better back then. But nowadays, if you lose lanes like this, man, is it tough to come back for Alliance. You're just seeing it. Like, I think they haven't got a kill in 20 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember when their last one was. The green spots are D wards. And a tower.
There's a fight happening. Symmetrical's in. I guess there was a big thing on the screen, and Timber not feeling too big in this game, as the BKB on Boom does get popped. We also, though, he used the BKB because Tofu was in. RC ult comes out, just dispelling some stuff. As the hook comes out onto Nico Baby. Duraccio. Is he going to pull back Aramis here? Yes, he is. Yeah, he's dead. And Ace, he's got that ult. He's in. He wants this Weeha Coddle, but he's standing a little too far in his base. Not feeling that comfortable. The dive. As Marcy, the Marcy jumps on the Lycan to increase his movement speed even more, because that works. May as well, you know.
Sure.
Just to flex how ahead you are.
Should work on Bloodseeker.
Does it not work on Bloodseeker?
I guess it does.
I thought it did, because Bloodseeker
you go very fast.
Bloodseeker just unlocks the max move speed. Yo, did you know Bloodseeker, even if you don't have the thirst buff active, he just has no max move speed. Like, you can get tons of move speed items and just be above the max move speed permanently, no thirst.
That's interesting.
Yeah, like thirst unlocks max move speed just as a spell. It's just very hard to get to that point.
Yeah.
Totally useless information as Gaimin Gladiators.
It's good for ability draft. Keep that in mind.
That's right. And they don't want to hard commit to this Roche. Alliance is actually, I mean, I like that they are actually making moves and not just like sitting in their base. As Boom, he's mid. Aramis is kind of looking for it.
Boom has the Ags now. Attempt there from Duracio to blink pull, but Weehaw was already gone. Another bash on the courier coming out for Nico. So another stun unlocked now for Alliance through itemization, which could prove useful if they get a good fight here, but Nico's gonna get jumped. Very quick here by, okay, nice blinding light from the Coddle. Weehaw will make a bit of space in the fight, and it looks like Symmetrical is trying to get out, so he gets, how the hell did he get pulled back over from that rift?
Yeah, he's surely got the talent, right? Yeah, he does.
All right, 223 is looking very likely. For all the memers out there, congratulations, you've unlocked the Anniversary to 2 and probably unlocked a win here as well for Gaimin Gladiators. Completely curb stomping Alliance in game number 1. There was just... I mean, I'm calling it like it's over. We can try to pretend that this isn't over if you'd like.
I'm good. I think this is back to the drawing board for Alliance. You know, they're going to be making the exact same observations on this game. That guys, we totally lack stuns. This tri-lane caught us off guard. You know, all of these things, and it's like this is what Gaimin Gladiators is famous for, right? Like they're early laning. They do these aggro tri-lanes. They do weird things in the laning phase to get an advantage, and then with some Enchantress Zoo lineup, they just never give you a chance back into the game. As Duracio does stun himself at the end here, but I don't know how much this matters. Stunned again as Aramis actually jumps in and does the Cog knockback. That is 1 kill. It's been a long time since they've gotten a kill, but Symmetrical goes down. As Clockwork also, he's going to hit the deck. Buyback comes out from Symmetrical, who has even less gold now. He's less than the Marcy. Very sad game for Timbersaw here.
I do think it was an... Okay, let's see if this actually turns into anything. They are going to chase Celery. Nice Force Staff, though. Just have the TP. Just stun him, lol. Oh, well.
What a TP. Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, so what I was going to say was, like you pointed out, Gaimin Gladiators have a very formidable laning phase in general. And I think, for me in Division 1 right now, I think it's one of Alliance's biggest weaknesses, honestly. I think their lanes often don't pan out particularly well. So I think in this team versus team matchup, you have to double down on covering that weakness, or at least having flexibility to solve it. And in this game, that was just not the case. They did not have the solutions for Ench in their draft, in my opinion. I think this is a really good Ench game in lane, as we are seeing probably the final moments here. Nice pull here from Boom. Gonna look for a little bit more. Ace actually taking quite the beating. Will go down for the first time this game, I do believe, and they're gonna try to run down Boom as well.
Oh, he gets bashed! The stun! He's out. He zips away. Although... Symmetrical wants to stay alive so he can get some of these juicy kills as Boom actually goes down. Nico Baby, he's looking for the bash on Duracio. He gets it first hit. Very nice. So Duracio does get taken down eventually. Okay. All right, Alliance, so they're looking to hold against Megas as Tofu's super low HP. Nico Baby goes for Celery because he's the easier kill apparently. As Wee goes down. Oh no, that's not what you want. But you know, Nico Baby, he got a lot of gold from that fight. He's feeling pretty good about himself right now, and then he remembers he's against mega creeps. And I don't know, probably back to neutral at that point.
In an absolute tribute to Eternal Envy, who has retired professionally as of today, Alliance unlocked their true potential after losing every possible building in the base.
First hit bash,
except their base towers. That is when they enter beast mode and pull it back from a 31k lead to 20. So, you know, I think their win expectancy went from 0 to 0, actually, from that. So not too bad.
Yeah. As we see the entire fight that we just watched previously, and all of the spells that were being cast, because Cinderin was, of course, talking about some nonsense during this fight, so we didn't get to Of course, here the play-by-play. There's the bash. Lots of bashes coming in from Nico Baby. I mean, I think that fight to me is just showing the value of... If they had another stun for this whole game, maybe it looks entirely different, because look how much they accomplished when this guy right here gets that basher. Yep. And they actually get Roche.
Yep.
Okay. As Boom goes for the zip.
Yep. Free kill.
Free kill onto...
Oh, Nico cannot get caught here.
No, he can't. He's fine. He's
I was
fine.
right. He could not get caught.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Good call. That's exactly what you were saying. As, I mean, they've got good heroes to clean up the Mega Creeps with, for sure. It's not like one of those games where there's nothing, you know? Like, Coddle heals your own creeps, got massive AoE damage, you know, Mischance, Timber. You know, same thing, big AoE damage.
5v4 though with this smoke and all spells available except Lycan ult, I believe. Actually, Marcy ult also not up, but not too important, really.
They're looking for the in-the-base play, I think, where they just see somebody, you know, defending one of these lanes from Megas. Of course, you have to split up to do this. It looks like Aramis is going to be the kill, as he does get stunned up. 3-man pull. Actually, 2-man pull. That was just the PL illusion, as both of the supports in the backline get caught. Dragon's going in, doing absolutely amazing damage with the fireball. It's very important. Aramis goes down. No buyback on 3 heroes. As Nico Baby, he goes down, but he does have the Aegis. He's going to respawn. Boom, totally out of mana, but has an Arcane Rune or some shit, because holy hell, he just zipped far anyway. Asymmetrical. He's definitely going to go down to that Impetus unless he has some sort of mischance. Very sad, as I hear Death Prophet ulti coming out. Something tells me that's not going to do anything. That's a position 5 Death Prophet. Nico Baby, he's looking to clean up. Ace is there. The Ancient is under attack. Oh, that's why he's DP ulti. He's trying to protect the Ancient, which is going down to Duraccio. He wants the hell out of that game to go game 2. Oh,
he has to go play a tennis match. He's already